So this is nothing personal against LeBron James, because I believe that. I mean, it's funny that he talks about people being uneducated. He made this claim, this accusation that the general manager of the Houston Rockets was just an uneducated person on the topic of hand, when he made this infamous tweet trying to advocate for the freedom of Hong Kong. But so it's not personal per se, although I do get aggravated with stars um, like LeBron James and others, Sean Penn, back in the day when Chavez was still alive. Chavez, who was a former dictator in Venezuela before, obviously, Maduro, who is still in charge. And yes, that's what they are. They're not presidents, they are dictators. It's a flawed system. It's a joke. It's not a democracy. Let's call it what it is. It's not a presidency. It's not a democracy. He's a dictator. And so it's not personal, because in some way and shape and form, it's you have to feel a degree of pity for people like this, because he's just, sorry, it's going to be offensive to some of you or to him, but he's just a useful idiot. He's a tool in the hands of these evil people. But here's the thing: this is highly deflating and incredibly sad and discouraging for people like me. I'm not a spring chicken. Some of the people that follow me on Twitter are perhaps older than I am, but I've been around. I lived under a dictatorship. I don't know if you guys know who General Antonio Noriega was. Um, America took him out in 1989, December 20th, 1989, Operation Just Cause. He was enrolled under the CIA, but he was an atrocious man, dictator. He destroyed the economy. He killed a few people that didn't agree with his philosophy, with his politics. He was a bad man. And I remember hearing some people, even back in those days, they have the anti-American sentiment, where they would say, well, America wants to get their noses everywhere, and they don't know what they're talking about. And they kind of reflected the same sentiment that Steve Kerr said, the head coach for the Warriors. China hasn't asked me, about the people that we kill in malls with the AR-15s and stuff like that. Come on, man. Are you that stupid? Can't you tell the difference between a government persecuting its people, killing people willy-nilly just because they want to exercise their freedom of speech, or they want to protest against a flawed government, a communist government? You can't distinguish between that and a few lunatics that take up their guns with and people that have literally mental problems and kill people in public spaces. You can't distinguish between that. And so these are not new arguments. I've been hearing it forever. Because of this hatred, this anti-American sentiment, they kind of fall off the donkey on the other side, and they just kind of endorse and advocate and give just evil communist dictatorships a free pass to do whatever. And so it's just crazy. And so, I mean, it's such a sad day. To think about, my upbringing and being, 12, 13 years old or something, and watching my country fall in shambles. Financially, economically, the morale of people was down because of what was going on. And I can imagine, I can empathize and sympathize with the Hong Kong people, because guys like LeBron James have made themselves or pop themselves up as social justicians. They've made these big bold claims of, we're here to take up the causes for the oppressed, for the victims, be it people that are racism, police brutality, women rights, and these are it's good, but when it comes to a situation that is so obvious, so egregious, and you take a pass, and it seems, and we have good reasons to believe that it is just because of the money, man, we don't want to hear that. My country right now, has received over 1 million Venezuelans running away from a dictatorship. And let me tell you, LeBron, NBA, and all you social justicians out there, people like me are deeply offended and discouraged. You have your standards and your the things that you want to advocate for really twisted. If you miss out on this, something's wrong with you. And to come out there and just say that we are uneducated and that we need to be careful in the way that we exercise our freedom of speech, come on, man, give us a break. Give us a break. And so I don't think, it doesn't matter, because people with this type of power, they're going to do whatever they're going to do, and people are still going to watch. They'll find ways to make money with in other avenues. The NBA, it's multi-billion-dollar industry, but I wish more people would see them for what they are. It's just about the money. Just about the money. They are unprincipled, elitist people that are just fake, just pretenders, just flat out evil. Throwing yourself out there, acting as if you really care. You don't care. You care about your pockets. And it also reminds me of the things that happen in Venezuela as we speak, when they have all these meetings with the UN and whatnot. They go to Europe and they like to pontificate and stuff like that about their works that they're doing, and they're bringing in all these dictators from Bolivia and in Venezuela, you name it, all these communists, all these crazy people. And the people that are supposed to stand up for justice, they just hide. People like the Spanish government. They can't criticize what Maduro is doing in Venezuela because we have to respect their sovereignty. But at the end of the day, God is God. God is going to do whatever He has to do, and He's laughing in His throne. We understand that, but I wish people would understand what's going on. Don't give your eyeballs to this nonsense. I seriously, I can't watch the NBA anymore with a clear conscience. And I'm not trying to make you, force my decisions and my opinions on you, but how can you buy a product that is so openly corrupt? People that are making $1 off of the suffering of others, and then have the audacity, the temerity, the gall to act as if they are so much better than you, and they want to get on their soapboxes and tell you how bad of a person you are, how ignorant you are. When the moment of truth comes around, you can't do nothing. So you stand up for. I remember the NBA with Charlotte, how they hurt the city. They took away the All-Star Games events from them because they wouldn't pass laws on men being men that dress up like girls. Charlotte decided not to give them a pass as far as using women's bathroom and stuff like that, and the NBA jumped in and took out the All-Star Game in protest. So you're clear with those false made-up rights, but when it comes to something this obvious where people are being killed, persecuted, beaten up, Even Muslims and Christians are being persecuted for their religion. And when this situation comes around, oh, you need to educate yourself more. I'm not really clear what's going on. But you're really clear on this other topics of men dressing like women, and you're okay with that? You applaud that? You applaud situations with police brutality, and police brutality does exist, but some of them have been shown to be just a hoax, and you didn't apologize. But with something this clear, something that anyone with a low, you don't have to be very smart to see that is obviously wrong, is violating this, people's basic rights. But you have to sit down and study more on that. So I'm asking myself, how can you? Well, it's not. I don't care how much you like basketball, but this is something about your integrity. It's something about where do you stand? Like, these people sold their beliefs, their message, their status as social justicians for $1. How can you watch a league like this anymore? I can't. I have no respect for you. I have no respect for you. I don't want, and I don't want to hear you talking about social issues anymore, because you failed this big test. You were pontificating and advocating for all kinds of nonsense. But when the time to show out, to ball out, so to speak, and to show where you are standing, what you're made of, to stand up to a real bully, you failed that test catastrophically. Man, I don't want to hear you. I'm not buying your product, and I don't want to hear your rhetoric. And I don't think anyone should. If you respect yourself, and if you have a stand on something, have integrity, and you see a guy that's supposedly on your team give up on the team, turn his back on you because he's making dollars off of this evil, crazy guy, then, like, who are you? It's just wrong. It's just wrong. Especially for people, as I said in the video a few minutes ago, for people like us. We've seen this before. We've been sold out. Why do you think governments delay so much their entry into certain situations where it is clearly wrong? You really think it's because they're protecting or they care about the sovereignty of these states and whatnot? You're silly if you believe that. It's because of money. They have deals with these people. They have business engagements, and it's all money, politics. Well, if it's obviously wrong, you don't have to think twice and educate yourself. It's just wrong. You just sold your soul. You're worth nothing. You lost your integrity. Sorry. I'm sorry, man, BA. I'm sorry, LeBron. This is it for you.